Here we are, right. Gingers, I've just given my telling off.
Aye, Gingers, the double
with
T.
two, not two O's is wrong.
The double O and the two U is because I've got a stutter in my index finger today. Not because I can't fake and spell.
I'm sending them across the explanation with two, and two.
Last thing I need in English lesson off of you, boy. Sorry, a Scots lesson off of you.
Oh dear.
Auntie B sorted that out all years ago. 2012 to 14, Auntie B took me back to school.
Caught.
Yeah. Hey, Professor Cox sorted me out in that department. It was jolly decent of her. Because I was bad back then, David. B did spend a lot of time in private messages, put me right.
David, truth. You're still bad.
I don't care. That's why I do live broadcasts. That way I don't need to fucking type. I write it on my iPad, don't I?
Oh my goodness.
I write it on my iPad. That way I can understand my own fucking spelling mistakes. Okay.
All right, we've rabbited enough. How many we got on board?
Because for 65, we're waiting on Facebook coming on.
Right.
Once we get Facebookers on, we'll get on with it. Anyway, folks, I've been in contact with a couple of food banks in the Western Isles. I'm waiting them to get back to me tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get the money out to them this well, it'll be Monday now, actually, unless I can get time to get into the bank tomorrow afternoon.
Well, tell the people how much we've got at the moment.
For the 21st of last month to the 21st of this month, you kind people raised over £1,200 because we got £800 into the bank.
Yes. And
YouTube takes a chunk of that.
Yeah.
So thank you. You're very generous. I see Reagan a week there. We'll have a look and see who else is in. Now we've got all the usual characters. Chris, I hope you're recovering well. And here's your sepsis as well as pneumonia.
Yeah. What's the aye, Chris, aye. Get well soon, son. Yeah, what's the total we've got in the bank?
I'm not sure. Last time I looked, it was £1,800.
Wow. Right. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, as I've been holding back, David, for baby banks next month. You know.
Yeah.
But last time I looked, which was last week, there was £1,800 in the bank. It was just after YouTube paid us.
We were to Chris. Chris, I take it they're pumping gentamicin into you like mad. The antibiotic for the sepsis. I hope you're all right, mate. I really do.
I hope you're recovering. Right. Well, we were up there at 100 mark, David, so let's get this underway.
Okay.
John Swinney set out his priorities for government for Scotland, and they will be eradicate child poverty, economic growth, a move to net zero, and to create a well-being society. Independence didn't feature at all.
But the problem is that without independence, we can achieve none of those.
We know that.
Well, okay, so it needs someone, somewhere, close to him, to actually say, and how do you intend to do all that? He set out that his plans for government, right? And unless there's a plan to make that happen, it's not going to happen, is it?
No. The other thing he was on about was consensus politics, because of course the SNP is in a minority, and they need a coalition partner basically to fucking get anything done.
Well, they've got that with the Greens.
They had that with the Greens. The Greens quite.
But they've got it with the Greens again because the Greens effectively realise that they are going to be in trouble if there is an election next year.
Yes, I think the Greens will pass the budget. Will go with the SNP passing this budget. Melanie, you've not got time today, so you'll see me tomorrow. No ducks yet. You'll see tomorrow. Okay then. Mind, I want to know whether the ducks daylight rain or no, Melanie. This is an important scientific study. That was the Star's headline today. No, a great time for ducks because it's going to piston or it's been pissing down. And I said, who said ducks like bloody rain? So Mel's going to go down the park next time it's raining and see to hide for the rain. Anyway, consensus politics is the way forward. Building a well-being society, but independence didn't feature. I think this guy's trying to lose an election. You know?
Yeah.
But
yes.
It was 1 hour of my life that I won't get back again.
Well, look, it's really important that we know what the man says and what the man's intention is, right? And as far as all these various things that the program that he's put forward, there's no way, absolutely, yeah, in my opinion, there's no way you can get any of that without independence.
You can't get none of it. No, you can't get any. And apart from that second one, economic growth, as you and I both know, David, the economy's reserved.
Yeah, but if he then starts talking, but we've got this amount of money that's going to be put into the country, inward investment and all the rest of it, right? You just say, hang on, you're changing the subject for no good reason whatsoever, because it's, as you said, it's the economy is reserved.
But as I say, as we know, David, there's ways around it. I mean, the SNP have done the right thing in health policy and education policy, things like that, to make Scotland an attractive place to invest. It's the UK government that's holding us back with their daft taxes and all that sort of carry.
Yeah, but what happens is, if Scotland does benefit from any of that, because it's a reserved issue, upstands the was Tory politician, now is a Labour politician, stands up and says, look how well we're doing. In actual fact, it is down to the efforts of the SNP as to how we did in terms of inward growth.
Yes, that's why we've done 20. That's why we've done 72 trade enclaves around the world to try and attract inward investment.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, other people claim the good of that, if you like, right?
Roddy McDonald, £20 super chat question. What's your opinion on the New Scotland Party? Never heard of them. Probably won't get up for grun. Probably Alpa 2.0.
Yeah, Roddy, we've talked about this in the past, that new parties take a long time to establish.
Yes.
You know, and because of that, you know, it's like the New Scotland Party, great, wish them all the best. However,
check backwards in 30 years, we'll see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is that not what we said with Alpa as well? Check backwards in 30 years, we'll see how you're doing.
Thanks for your donation, Roddy. And
thank you very much, Roddy. But no, Roddy, don't have an opinion on the New Scotland Party because don't know nothing about them, never seen them poll, they don't have any elected representatives, and I haven't seen a policy, so don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. SNP to reintroduce winter fuel payments, but it won't be until 25-26. So winter 25 and winter 26, but that time this new, because what they're doing here is they're creating a new universal benefit to be added to the stock of 15 benefits that's in the Scottish social security system.
But when you split that down, right, £300 will go to the people that are worse off, right? £200 will go to those that are slightly better off, and to the well-off pensioners, they'll get 100.
Aye. But as I say, the way they're doing it is they're introducing a new Scottish benefit through the Scottish social security system. Yeah. Now, for those watching out with Scotland, there's the UK social security system, and then on top of that, here in Scotland, we have a second social security system. So our safety net's a wee bit better here.
Yeah.
There are 15 benefits which were devolved to Scotland, and this one is one we're creating ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, this winter there will be help for pensioners, but it's not a big pot. They'll need to apply for it. There's 41 million being put to one side to help pensioners this winter. Details on how to apply if you are in need are on the Scottish Government website, folks. I'm not going to see you like idiots.
Only covers you if you are down for any pension credits or you've got particular benefits, needs, whatever, right? If in my situation, my wife is still working, so therefore I get nothing.
Aye, obviously. Now, this new benefit that will be introduced to Social Security Scotland will ensure that the 900,000 pensioners who lost out on their winter fuel payment will get it in 25-26. And as I say, it's a new bill that's going through the Parliament to create this benefit and add it to the benefits that within the Scottish Social Security system.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good news. And it also took the wind right out of Sarwar, didn't it?
I mean, Sarwar at the moment, where I see him most is I see him on these short reels, the videos that they've got on Facebook.
Aye.
And he comes up on that and he's talking about the amount of money that the British government has given graciously to Scotland.
They don't give us nothing. See people like that. See if you ever spoke to me like that, they've given us this, they've given that. Who you fucking talk to? I'm not an idiot, mate. I know who pays taxes and who fucking doesn't.
Yeah. My answer to that, and I've put in an answer into learn more on that video. I've said time for independence, independence, independence.
You were going to find some way to get that fucking in, wouldn't you? Also, this week, a new bill has passed in the Scottish Parliament on prisoner release. Now, as we know, David, there's been a stoushie about this, but it's identical to the bill that's gone through the Westminster Parliament for English early release.
Yeah.
It means that prisoners who are in the eligibility category will be released after 40% of their sentence.
Anybody that disagrees with us, my question to them is, what are you going to do? Are you going to start putting anybody that ends up with a prison sentence to death, and therefore cut down the number of people that we've got to deal with? Honestly, that is just a ridiculous thing. Kids will get the boot. The British public will give him the boot, but it won't stick.
And Graham's telling us that he missed out on his pension credit for £4.70 a week.
Yeah. I know.
Their argument would be that £4.70 a week a year would cover your winter fuel.
Yeah.
Mental. They say about the prisoner release thing, David. Now we'll discuss this to death, actually. I don't think it's a bad idea. A lot of these people shouldn't be in bloody prison in the first place. You know, they're repeat petty offenders right enough.
I think as a society, we need to think about something different away from locking people in buildings. Simple as that. There's many a time I've thought with this and I've thought, no, if they do such and such, they should be in prison. But at the end of the day, it's like, as a society, when they come out of prison, let's say they've been in for a couple of years or whatever, right? And they come out, nobody will employ them. They end up going back to doing bad things in order to make money. And they end up back in prison. It's stupid. It's a self-fulfilling nonsense.
Yes.
So we need to find a different way of doing it.
Yes, we most certainly do. And apparently, hold on, get this one up. I don't know much about this, but John Baxter, he got his warm home voucher today. Although he's not claiming any benefits, 2 times £75, got it for being over 62 and having less than 19,000 a year.
Wow. John, I'm definitely gonna look at that. Right. Okay.
I don't think you'll qualify, David. Your joint income's more than that.
Oh, yeah. In your eyes, I can drink tea with my pinky stuck up.
Ah, you do. Well, off you. And wake up and smell the rosemary. Rosemary's thinks we're in for a cold winter.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. I think this is going to be quite a bad one.
And Stephen's got right you a lot. He's normally polite, but you're being ordered now. Press that like button.
Yeah. In actual fact, we were talking, Leslie and I were talking about this the other night there. Do any of you remember I'm not talking about the one where we had the beast from the east. We're talking about the one where it froze and then started to melt and then froze immediately hard.
Aye.
And it meant the ice, you couldn't break it even with a pickaxe. You know, it was solid, absolutely solid. And it caused so much damage to the roads.
Neil, you're the first one in for Facebook. It seemed to be a bit late before it changed my settings to public there to check it again.
It also takes time for them to reclimate to society. Yes, I totally agree with that. Did you know that Portugal have got rather an interesting scheme as regards that? What they're doing is people that have been in prison, they realise there is a problem with people getting a job after they've been in prison. So what they do is they find out what they had a job in the past. Some of them go, oh, well, I worked for 5 days in a garage. Right, fine. So they end up inside a garage. The owner is told they'll be getting somebody.
Aye.
What they're guilty of, all the rest of it.
Yep.
And the government pays the person's wage. I forget how long for, but it was something like a year or maybe even a couple of years. And it meant they had a chance of taking that person and bringing them up, bringing the skills up the way, right?
Yep.
And Portugal and a lot of things, bloody marvellous.
There's a lot of things we could learn from the Nordic countries when it comes to prisons as well, because most of theirs are lying empty.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Stephen, you couldn't get Stephen to start with. That's Facebook. I changed the sentence to public, but when I checked, still hadn't changed them, so I've done it again. So that's why you're through now, Stephen. So, no, we've spoke about rehabilitation. We've spoke about the need for retraining. But in fact, really, prisons should be schools. No schools where criminals get better at crime. Schools where they get skills to come out into life.
Yeah, where they're not held. So, in other words, as an option, they are tagged, right? Unfortunately, which can be covered with a pair of trousers, right? They are told at what time they've got to attend a certain new college, let's call it, right? To learn their new trade, and they're told what time they have to be back home for. And if they don't keep that, they do go inside.
Seems sensible enough.
Yeah.
But did you know that that's Labour's new catchphrase? Earn or learn. So if you're not directly contributing to the economy by working, or you're not going to be contributing to the economy in the future by learning, then Labour are no fucking interested in you.
Yeah.
The other thing it did tell us that YTS is coming back.
Good training scheme.
Because they'll mix the two of them and call them earning and learning. You know, and they're talking about wanting to shove people into work. Shove people into the workforce. So fucking unemployment's up by 300,000 since the summer. The unemployment figures went up by 300,000 since the summer.
Yeah.
We now have 4.2 million people, 4.3 million people unemployed.
Yeah, on that particular one, there is a large degree of people that don't work, So in other words, we've got a lot of vacancies that are never filled, or not filled at all, right? And you can imagine Starmer being stupid enough to realise to think that, oh well, we've got this number of vacancies and that number of people not working, so put them together.
It didn't work like that.
Not like that.
Anyway, he's not interested in people who are not productive apparently, but there are people who are not productive for reasons. I mean, you get people who have to come out of the workforce to care for other people.
Correct.
You get people who are pensioners.
Yeah.
You've got people who are disabled and can't work.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got those who are mentally ill who need time to recover before going back into the workforce.
Yeah. I mean, I can only point to my own situation. I've got a leg off. I've got prosthetic limb. I've got this is my right hand. I've got a stroke on my right hand side. That's what affects my speech sometimes, and it affects this hand. It makes me feel as if I'm wearing a really heavy leather glove, right? And it doesn't have as much power as it did, right? And that's fine. I would love to be able to work. I'd love to be able to do something, right? Because one thing I have got is I've got a brain.
Aye, but that's diminishing because you're ancient.
Fuck off.
I will do, Mr. E. I will have a look at Batsy at Prison Island in Norway. Oh.
Yeah.
Aye. Hey, wait a minute. Aye, this one's a doozy, David. This one's a fucking doozy. It really is.
Go for it.
Scottish judges to retire to consider definition of a woman. Right, well, I go on, shall I?
Yeah, carry on.
Anyway, this carry on started with a mob called For Women Scotland back in 2017-18, when the Scottish Government legislated for public body boards to be 50-50 in gender. Okay.
Okay.
But of course, they have to comply with the 2004 and 2010 Equalities Act.
Right.
Sorry, 2004 Gender Recognition Act and the 2010 Equalities Act. Okay. Now, because of these two pieces of legislation, it means that if you're a man transitioning to a woman and living as a woman, or a woman transitioning to a man and living as a man, if you're on a public board, you will go to that side of the table, male or female, in the 50-50 split. Right. Women for Scotland objected to that, saying transgender women, no. You know, all the single-sex spaces and all that sort of thing, David. We've been through this before. You and I being engineers, we know just build cubicles with fucking floor to wall and a door for floor to wall, floor to roof. And once you're in that cubicle, it doesn't matter what sex you are.
Yeah. That's right.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happened in 2018 with this Public Boards Act was the Scottish Government then had to reword it to make it clear that would apply to people who had what's called a gender recognition certificate. Which means that legally, when it comes to dealing with government bodies and all that, they've got to be treated as the sex that's on that gender recognition certificate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, after the Scottish Government reworded the bill, For Women Scotland took them back to court, and the judge says, "No, it's fine now. Go ahead with your bill. That's it. Sorted." Anyway, they decided to call a judicial review.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted the legal system to give a judgment in what's basically a medical situation. But we've seen the legal system having to make these sort of decisions before anyway. You know, life and death decisions and things like that. So, anyway, they're back in court and they've spent 2 days arguing about it. Now, Aidan O'Neill KC was representing For Women Scotland. And Ruth Crawford KC was representing the Scottish Government. Now, Aidan's argument was that sex is a biological thing. You only have man and woman. And of course, Ruth Crawford is pointing to the 2004 Gender Recognition Act and the 2010 Equalities Act and saying they beg to differ. Right? So now the judges have retired and they're going to come back and tell us what the legal definition of a female is, a woman. And once that's done, it could apply. It's going to make a right fucking hash of things right across England and Wales and all, because they're going to have to comply with it too. Because they two bills we're talking about, the 2004 Gender Recognition Act and the 2010 Equalities Act, they're UK-wide legislation.
Yeah.
So when the courts make a ruling on this, no matter where you're in these islands, apart from Northern Ireland, you're making the change. These bills will need to be rewritten.
Speaking as a man, right, there's more that makes a woman and a man rather than the tacklets between your legs. Something like that, right? So in other words, a woman, it's state of mind. It's a different state of mind, generally, a woman from a man. Yeah?
Aye. But so it's see, this has been on for 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
What a lot of nonsense. You know. It's already been legislated for in 2004 and in 2010. What's the argument? Yeah. Well, that legislation might all have to change depending on what the judges come up with.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating. All right, then, David, let's move on to today. And today we have got a huge protest going on outside Holyrood with the farmers and with INEOS employees. So the farmers, they want subsidies put up.
Yeah.
Now, the Scottish Government pays out £726 million in farm subsidies each year. Yeah. The National Union of Farmers wants that up to £776 million. And of course, INEOS workers, they want their jobs saved.
Yeah.
And the other thing that the farmers want is they want the Scottish Government to pressurise the UK Government to change their mind on inheritance tax changes.
Not going to happen, is it?
No, it's no. But as I say, one of the Scottish ministers who is a farmer, he is on the protest today.
Yeah.
And she was explaining that she was hoping to inherit the family farm.
Yeah.
But if she does, she's going to have to sell most of it to cover this tax.
The only solution to this.
Independence. Go on then, finish it off.
I was letting you do it.
Ah, you're all right. I'm eyes on the prize, man.
Yeah, but the only solution to this is independence, because if you look at what we're talking about is it's two different setups.
Aye.
The farming community in England is different to the farming community in Scotland.
Yep.
All right. Fine. The farm community in England, great, brilliant, but they should be dealt with Westminster, something like that.
Well, farming, agriculture is devolved.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously, the subsidies that you hear are part of the wider UK package, and the money goes to Holyrood and they distribute it for there.
But it's the inheritance tax side.
The inheritance tax side, aye. But the other thing they want is 7-year funding plans.
Yeah.
The UK only does 5 years. The old common agricultural policies in the EU would do 7-year budgets at a time for farming.
Yeah, well, hang on. In farming, right, you've got a lad or the lass that's born to a family that own a farm, right?
Aye.
That farm is worth on the market if you price it a couple of million, 3 million, whatever, right? The problem is that even though that business is going to pass to the child, right? It doesn't mean that the child is going to sell it for profit. It's not. It's going to continue the business, and so that inheritance tax that's awful. It's ridiculous.
Well, Chris has got a point. Can the farmers not put their farms into family trusts where they're not technically handed down but owned by the trust, and the trustees can be changed as the farm is handed through the generations?
Absolutely. That is the clever money. That really is the clever money. Setting up a trust fund for that farm means then that the trust can actually give money out or give assets or whatever, right? Similar as that, without there being a tax quotient to it.
Aye. As I say, but they also want a 7-year funding plan so they get security coming down the line. Of course, here a fixed parliament terms of 5 years, so it makes more sense for them to 5-year plans because different governments have different plans for agriculture. But we know what the plan that Rachel Reeves has got for agriculture, and that's factory farming.
Yeah.
That might work in England, but it ain't going to work here, where it's mainly hill farm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Virginia, you listened to Peter Bell on the TNT show. I didn't see it myself. Peter's an old friend of David Nye's. Mad as a bloody hatter, but a lovely guy.
Yeah. we both like Peter, and you'll see in the past when we're in marches together, we march with Peter, right?
Aye, what a thing.
But he's a cantankerous old git. He really is.
The two of you couldn't go on that great, because I bet I cantankerous old gits. But so Peter's behind this new party apparently, and he's not putting up any candidates for the election. So there you go. So the new Scotland party is Peter Bell's party.
All the best, Peter. All the best.
All the best, Peter.
Yeah.
Known Peter for a long time now. He's a good vlogger.
Yeah.
Prolific vlogger at one point. I don't know if he's still at it.
Oh my God! My first dealing with him was we're actually going to put together a website where it covered every facet of every part of independence, right?
Aye.
And my goodness, Peter was involved, and as you can imagine, every comma, full stop, everything had to be absolutely perfect, you know. Anyway, never mind.
Now, Hashby stumbles right. Peter's new party is unlikely to find any traction.
Yeah.
Say Peter's a nice guy, simple as that.
Yeah.
Right, now we know we've got the case up here in Scotland, David, with a couple for Court Bridge taking the Scottish and UK government court, where they're chopping their winter fuel payments. And the Scottish Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Right. Now the Trade Union Unite have decided to take the same action in the English courts.
Yeah.
Now they are stating the very same reasons, that they didn't follow a procedure and they didn't do their due diligence, so this should never have been done, or the risk assessment, or whatever you want to call
it. Yeah. When you do something like this, you're supposed to look at the population and see who it hurts
and right? What damage it's going to do.
That's right.
Impact assessments, they call them.
Impact assessment or damage assessment.
Yep. Anyway, Unite's Sharon Graham has decided to take the UK government to court. And there's plenty of clout behind that union because it's got plenty of money.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got interviews on it.
In Newcastle. They've got a huge building in Newcastle. Right. The union. So.
Now, on being interviewed on taking them to court, Sharon Graham said, haven't they followed procedures? Haven't they done their impact assessments? Haven't they done nothing? They just haven't followed procedure. And she says they shouldn't be picking the pockets of pensioners anyway, at any time.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember, David, this new Conservative Party wearing a red rosette, they are targeting those who are unproductive.
Yeah. Yeah.
The disabled, the unemployed, the pensioners. You know,
But
the surprise one is they've gone for the pensioners.
They're trying to take a section of the population and put them together with vacancies so that, hey, there you go. That is a Labour solution for you. Like, just take all the vacancies and all these people that we go, oh, and that's it. Right? So you've got these people working and they all last for about 2.5 nanoseconds because they're no right person for the job or the job's no right for the person. One of the two.
Aye. But that's another thing that fascinates me with what's going on with this Labour Party. They're no longer the party of the people.
Oh, yeah.
They're no longer the party of the working. Yeah. Apparently, they have taken on the Conservative mantra of we are the parties of achievers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It just looks like they are going to batter everybody who's no productive within the economy. And as we're talking about this new earn or learn carry on, that's absolute madness. So if you're no earning, you're no learning, you're no of any value to this Labour Party. So if you're a carer, fucking tough.
Yeah.
If you're unemployed, get a job or get sanctioned. Because see, with this new earn or learn programme, it's aimed at the young. And if they don't want a job or a training programme, tell you YTS is coming back. Then they get their benefits whacked. But you know what happens here, David, is they go on these courses and they get their bus fare along with their benefits. In fact, I don't even think they'll give them the bus fare now. The way they used to give us the bus fare and the YTS was around.
In Scotland, the under 21s are free.
Aye, they'll pay anyway, but I'm talking about in England, and they've always just stuck the bus prices up down that road by £1.
Yeah.
You know, so.
By the way, just while you're on about that, that day that actually sent a letter for the first time, getting it out. Look, went into the drawer, pulled out the first class stamps, stuck one on, right, and got back. Sorry, wrong stamp. Now these stamps, there's no first class or second class anymore. £1.60. £1.60 for a stamp.
Wow.
Oh, wow, exactly.
Next time, David, email David.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. Yes, absolutely. £1.60.
Anyway, this next one's quite funny, I know, David. MPs to debate the petition. The petition to rerun the 2024 election has now reached 2.8 million signatures.
Right, okay, so you can imagine the situation. It's a House of Commons, right?
Uh-huh.
They have a debate. Who's it speaks for us? Who's it speaks for the people?
The politicians speak for us, supposedly.
Well, turkeys don't vote for Christmas, do they?
Apparently they do. Look at Brexit and the 2014 referendum.
No, it depends. It depends on who has the largest number of MPs. Okay? So we're talking about Starmer being removed as Prime Minister. That would trigger another election, right? We're talking about another election, right? And those MPs that have got in for Labour, right? They think, oh, that was good, wasn't it? We took all those seats off the Tories, right? Do you think they're going to vote? They're going to vote for Another election.
They're going to debate it in the second chamber, the Westminster chamber.
Right.
Not the Commons chamber, but the second chamber in the House, Westminster Hall.
Yeah.
And there isn't going to be a vote on it, and it won't make any difference. But the people are starting to get a bit fucking annoyed that this is going to be spoken about. So, of course, to appease the people, they're going to speak about it. Because it's not even a government petition, it's just an e-petition.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
at the end of the day, it's like all these kind of things are, you think to yourself, oh, that's good. We're now up to a couple of million signatures to get rid of the Prime Minister. Doesn't do any good. Seriously. It never is going to do any good whatsoever.
It might have had a vote on it if it had been a UK government petition, but you know what happened? The Petitions Commission down there just wouldn't accept the petition.
But even if it's a UK petition, it's still not going to get rid of the Prime Minister. Simple as that. Look at the amount of stuff that we had on Boris Johnson. And he just sat there and went, right? Oh, you want a dead cat? Well, there is a dead cat. There we go. Right.
Well, as I say, they're going to debate it because when it'll soon hit 3 million signatures, and they want to get the public turned off it. You know what I mean? But even if all 44 million,
if they got the number of signatures up to 40 million, then perhaps that might have an effect. But unless they hit unless they hit more than half of the voters within the United Kingdom, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
The early Scottish election is limited. It's possible, but Labour don't want a vote at this point in time. The Greens don't want a vote at this point in time. So
Chris,
I think
you're supposed to be having an afternoon nap.
Anyway, I think the Greens will carry the Scottish budget. But as I say, it will be an interesting debate to watch.
Yeah.
Just for the comedy value, David.
Yeah.
But I did have to bring it up because it was one of the big stories of the day. And this petition has been a massive story. You know, let's face it, you can't ignore 2.8 million people when there's 44 million voters.
But they are ignoring 2.8 million. The House of Commons is ignoring those people. They might have a chat about it, but they're ignoring it.
Wake up and smell the rosaries. You think there will be an early Holyrood? It is possible. If the SNP can't pass this budget, and there's and the other two parties who are the other parties having to get budgets to put forward, and they haven't done any work in anything like that for years.
Yep.
They've never put an alternative budget in front of the Holyrood chamber. But if they don't have an alternative budget to offer the chamber, then it will be an early Scottish election. It will be, yes, because the Parliament will collapse and public services will be in trouble because of any fucking funding.
Yeah.
So it's a possibility, but you see, this debate was quite interesting. UK busy in Middle East, David. There's been a couple of developments in the Middle East this week, and the UK is wrapped up in both of them. There was a US-led ceasefire and peace deal with Hezbollah along southern Lebanon.
Yeah.
And as part of that deal, guess who's going to train the Lebanese army?
Go on, I'll let you answer that.
Apparently the UK.
Yeah.
What, we're going to give them pea shooters and fucking targets to play with?
No. It's same as Dad's army. It's open a box and it's all these brooms in. That's that. Yeah, that's your gun. You use that for the next 3 months.
Aye.
We'll train you using that. Simple as that.
If you get 100,000 signatures on a Westminster petition, it guarantees a debate in the hall.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, hang on a second. Let's think about that, right? I know it says that on paper. If you get more than 100,000 signatures, it means they have to have a debate. Okay, it could be a debate where like maybe 5 or 6 MPs, talking about something, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to be like it's going to change anything.
Not be changing much.
Yeah, the only petition that changes things is if you've got more than half of the voting population. It's the same with the Scottish setup. If we want,
You're a legend there.
Sorry. If we want independence, then we've got to get more than half of the Scottish population to sign a petition and deliver that petition. Actually, deliver it, right?
Aye.
You can imagine that you would need. I don't know what the number is, but up around about 40 million of the UK population to vote to rerun the election again, right?
Lorraine, the only reason a peace deal did come about was because the IDF were getting their arse kicked, and in Lebanon. But the notion that the UK government are going to train anybody, I'm going to say to the UK military, they get going to train.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Da, 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 da.
Man, you feel like a woman. That's well done. That's brilliant, Long. That's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right in cue. So, and the other bit of news coming out of the Middle East is that they've struck a deal with Iraq.
Yeah.
And they're going to pay Iraq money to try and stop people smugglers upstream.
But there's no people smugglers in Iraq.
No, there's people getting out of Iraq. There's no people smugglers there. The smugglers are all in Europe.
Yeah.
Most of them will be hedge fund managers in bloody London, actually.
Yeah.
But the notion of the UK training the Lebanese army. Now, why would the UK agree to train the Lebanese army? Because the Lebanese army won't be strong enough to defeat Hezbollah within Lebanon. You know? But I think Hezbollah is part of the government there now, so I think things have changed a wee bit there. I think they might have read this one wrong.
Yeah.
I think they might have read this one wrong.
Somebody's determined to get a hold of me.
You want me to mute you, then you can talk to him.
Right.
I'll stick you in mute if you need to take that call, David.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Switch off.
Okay. So, apparently we're going to give Iraq money to stop people smugglers upstream.
How much money?
Never said.
Well, you see, that's the thing. It's like, unless straight away, if you imagine the UK is going to give like 100 million to that country to actually stop people smugglers.
Do you know, Chris, that's what I was thinking this was all about as well. We train the Lebanese army to crush Hezbollah for the other side. And apparently the Lebanese army to move into Hezbollah held territory with the US, UK and French protection.
It's an old British trick. Set your enemies against each other. And that way, then you're not bothered with them.
Right, apparently we Dougie Ross has been kicked out of the chamber for calling the finance secretary a liar. Imagine we Dougie Ross calling anybody a bloody liar.
Yeah.
Hey Ali, thanks very much, my friend. And I enjoyed watching the football with you last night, Ali.
Thanks, Ali.
Thank you very much, dear boy. Right, they say it's getting mucky in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And It looks like the US and UK are going for regime change in Lebanon now. You know? What was that? Somebody was asking you something, Mr. Billy. Just answer the phone. We don't mind. It could be important. So I've got a mute button here for you. If he needs to answer the phone and he can mute himself.
It's okay. It's all nagging when the show's finished.
Aye.
So.
Which will be in 10 minutes, so we're not long to go.
Right.
Right, Starmer to introduce white paper on immigration as net inward migration hits high of 728,000. It's been higher, David.
Yeah, it's been higher, but 900,000. 2023 was the figures. Now it's 728,000.
Aye. And that's not including people coming across in small boats because they're illegal, apparently. But these so-called illegals,
do you want
in jail.
I would love to see all this nonsense with immigration and all the rest of it halted. Allow people to go where they want to go. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's everything's done for the last 30 minutes, so you can actually not miss much. The stories we've covered, you've probably covered already. We've got a different slant on it for you up here, of course. And internet being done seems to be quite a common thing at the moment.
Yeah.
In fact, all the utilities in the UK are pretty well fucked.
Well, they're not feeding the hamsters enough to go round. Yeah.
And in this case, the hamsters are the telephone engineers. So as we say, inward migration, 728,000. Outward, 440,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You've got to take that into account, right? At one time, we maybe had a larger number of people going out the way, right? When the UK was part of Europe, because then it meant that people from here could move across there and move freely within Europe, right? Whereas now that's not the case. But it's still an all for it to be 400,000 as against 728,000. That's more than half are going out the way.
Yes.
So when you get these idiots talking about small boats and how they're going to come in, or think of that 400,000 people that are moving out of here, how those countries are helping out those people, right? So therefore, I've got to say there's a bit of fairness in the whole thing. Not like the idiots that talk about racism as if it's their second language.
Aye. No, different suppliers. Aye, right enough, Reagan. It will be for utilities. Just different suppliers. Right. What's else? What else we got doing here? Oh, we advert for Reagan a Week's channel. Don't forget Maximilian's channel. Don't forget Political X. Don't forget Big Mad Studios.
Also, don't forget his.
Oh, they right. With me in the morning anyway. They'll like a cup of coffee with me in the morning. They'll just staggering out their beds after sobering up for their drunken antics the night before. Yeah, either that or they're just getting out their beds for their breakfast.
Rent controls being discussed in Holyrood right now.
Sorry, say that again?
Rent controls being discussed in Holyrood right at the moment.
Now, the last story we're going to cover is Trump has done something that he's not supposed to do. And he has announced that he will start a trade war with Mexico and with Canada and China the minute he gets in the door.
Yeah, it's the import duties he's going to adopt.
He is going to whack up 25% on all goods imported into the US from Canada and Mexico, which is going to be a big problem for people in America because they import an awful lot of the fruits and vegetables from Mexico. And they import a lot of grain and oil for Canada. So their fuel prices are about to go up, and their food prices are about to go up.
Yeah.
Trump is an absolute economic idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I agree with that.
And you know, David, the similarities are striking. We've got two economic idiots at the top of the pile down the road.
Yeah.
And we've got one coming in America and one getting out in America.
Yeah.
You know? Wow. But to actually give them advance notice, they've been setting up a smuggler lines already, David. Imagine putting a 25% tax on your own people.
Well, yeah, okay. And the next on the line, I believe, and you believe, is it is going to start hitting Europe.
Yes,
right. Anything coming from Europe, I'm going to have like 25% import tax on anything. I'd add 25% on to anything coming from Europe. So effectively, he's going to set up a trade war.
Well, I'll tell you what, Harley-Davidson's not going to be best chuffed because they nearly went out of business the last time that Muppet was in the White House with trade war with Europe then.
Yeah.
You know? So...
Well, all I can say is if America are going to accept that, it's back to wiki wiki wah, wiki wiki wah, wild wild west, wild west.
Let's put it this way, it would appear the Americans are going to get whacked with this idiot.
Yeah, well, it takes the American society back years and years and years.
Well, David, when you think about it, we're back in the 1970s here.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, and you're right, Rosemary. Wake up, smell the rosemaries. Depression approaching. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And Trump's going to play chaos in the markets.
It would be common sense for those in the markets that are affected to go, right, fine. We've got a rotten limb. Let's cut it off, right? That rotten limb is America.
You saw a video where the guy said your costs would actually go up more than 30%, so profits wouldn't be absolutely correct, Ginger.
Absolutely correct, yeah.
When he puts a 25% initial 25% tax on importers into the US, they're going to pass it on to the customer.
Yeah, that's right.
But they're going to pass it on with the extra administration costs factored in. So that's what it's going to take up to 30%.
Yeah.
So some of your food products are going to go through the roof, and oil and gas is going to go up and all because you import 40% of that to Canada. And if you like a wee avocado with your toast, it's going to cost you a few quid or a few dollars more because 90% of your avocados come from Mexico.
That's right. Yeah, dead right.
60% of your tomatoes, Gingers, I've been looking into this. 60% of your tomatoes come from Mexico.
Right. We understand that Trump's Republican, right?
Right.
And the House of Representatives, you've got a large number of them are Republican, right?
Uh-huh.
But the American president needn't be the one running America. It's the House of Representatives that run America. So therefore, if they look at it and they go, oh, it's bloody stupid this, then they could actually vote against it. They could vote down a Republican president, even though they might be Republican themselves.
Right, Hashbury stumbles. Nothing on the news about Douglas Ross being thrown out the Holyrood Chamber when reporting on statement on A96. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the statement, but I'm assuming they're kiboshing the full dueling of the A96. And well, when times are hard, you just have to put some projects on the back burner. Simple as that. And when these projects were all announced, times only quite that hard.
Is there any more Brexit checks or costs by January, says
They keep
Stephen.
kicking them down the line, Stephen, so it's very hard to say. The ones that should have come in October have been kicked down the road again.
Yeah.
Which means that there's still no controls there, the quality of things that are coming in. We're still a smuggler's paradise. And going to the supermarket is still a bloody risk now, because you don't know what's on that, in that packet is what it says it is, because nobody's checking. If you're going to buy a frozen burger now, it could well be horse meat. You would never know.
Yeah.
But I say, America's about to suffer the same sort of thing that we're suffering at the moment. And it's down to economic illiteracy.
Yeah.
Or self-preservation is generally what's behind these things. If you look at the Tory party and Brexit, that was about protecting their own wealth, because, as we all know, the EU is introducing the Anti-Tax Avoidance Directive.
Well, but looking at America, right? Trump is actually announcing 25% extra on anything from Canada and anything from Mexico, right? It's more to do with Canada, I assume, because the amount of oil and gas export that Canada has to America.
Yes.
And that'll be dead simple. That'll be down to whoever it is that's paying money to Trump from America to say, right, stop those oil and gas imports.
Aye.
So that our oil and gas imports do better within
they don't produce enough. The reason why they're bringing in 40% of oil and gas is they don't produce enough, and they don't have the capacity to produce enough.
And but also it's about price.
Aye.
Price as well, right?
Well, the price is going to go up. There's no doubt about that. Right, we've hit the 5 o'clock mark, David. I need to get my bits on to go to work.
Okay.
So, folks, we hope you found it interesting. We hope you found it informative. And we hope you found it entertaining.
Guys, any of you have made a donation today? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all, because there's some nice donations this morning as well. I think we're taking in another £100 today, folks. Thank you very much.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing. As I say, I'm waiting on a Harris Food Bank and Food and Baby Bank get back to me tomorrow, and I am waiting on the Lochs and Stornoway getting back to me tomorrow.
Yeah. All right.
So hopefully by Monday when we come on, I'll have news for you to tell you where your money went. Okay.
We mentioned to Chris Wilson. Chris, get better soon. All right. Want to see you up and about. You are such an amazing lad. Want to see that again. All right.
Right, that just leaves one thing left to say: independence.
Eyes the prize.
Bye, David.
Bye, David. Bye, guys.
Bye, folks. I'll see you all at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for the last one of the week. Bye for now. Sorry, 10:30 a.m. Don't be late. I'll have a candle lit in the naughty step. And if you're late, you're burning your ass. Melanie, I need a report on the ducks.